you started on a small screen with Prema the Kadambari, and you returned to the small screen in a way with Bigg Boss. What has that, do you find anything has changed?
Yeah, earlier the television on a very physical thing also, the size of the television and the penetration of the television was the size of the television. Today the penetration of television or whatever the data that comes there, whether it is a phone or that, I think it's much larger than the larger scale today or the larger screen. Its penetrations are very high. The investments are very high because the Bigg Boss as a reality show, it is the biggest investment of any channel, whoever is working with it. It's a very huge investment. So it is not just a reality show that you are being a part of. It's a very, very big investment and the biggest show on a smaller screen. Very big show. Earlier, when I did Prema the Kadambari, it was a very tiny one for a very tiny screen. Today, this is the biggest show on that screen. Biggest.
What has Bigg Boss taught you about yourself as a performer? Because there's a bit of performance going on there that the movies have not taught you.
No, Bigg Boss never taught me anything to do with movies. Bigg Boss just taught me patience.
Patience?
Yeah, it gave me abundance of patience. Probably not that I never had, but it kind of built such a Burj Khalifa of patience, that, when somebody's talking to me, I can actually sit quiet and listen to you for hours. And then, okay. Then I'll decide whether to answer you. I don't need to answer you. Earlier, maybe it was not that. I would probably look at you and say, I think, yeah, I got your point. Now, what are you exactly trying to tell me? Today, I listen to you. So I guess trying to understand personalities and trying to understand, see, each one have their own way to talk. Bigg Boss gives you all those provisions and accessibility to such personalities. You learn to deal with people. So the people we meet on sets are no different than the people we interact there, or maybe even worse. But that gives an insight and also kind of, creates an atmosphere around you that you learn, tunes you to the core that you are a beautiful instrument by the time you come back to your own profession. You're a beautifully tuned instrument.
It's a great line, yeah.
It's a very beautifully tuned instrument and you are ready. Come on, throw it upon me. I'm okay with it.
The reason I asked is because in a film, despite the fact that you might go on a set and improvise, there is something that you fall back on because there's a script. And so, yeah, so there's always going to be the comfort that, but this is live, and there is an element of, okay, maybe not live technically, but
live. It is live. I'll tell you how. So the moment action happens and you say, let me get into the house, I'm live with my contestants.
Yeah, that's what I meant, yeah.
There are no retakes. You should understand they shouldn't know, or you shouldn't give them a feeling that you don't know. For that, I need to see everything. I need to know everything. I need to listen to everything, and nothing can be scripted. Because as and when I'm talking to you, sir, how can you say my answer is scripted?
Yeah.
My answer depends totally on what you're asking me. Don't you think the same thing happens in Bigg Boss?
That's what I'm saying.
So this has got nothing to do with cinema. But this has got something to do with your personality. If you are not a personality of that sort, that you have spontaneity, you have an instinct that works right, you have a control over what you speak and your vocabulary, and you're probably insight into life, you cannot handle Bigg Boss. Bigg Boss can be conducted by only those who are feared and who are respected. One of the two has to work. For the contestants inside, either they should respect you to the core or they should fear you, sir. Otherwise, this show cannot be hosted.
Because?
And your spontaneity, the ability to make them laugh, the ability to calm them down. In Karnataka, when Bigg Boss Saturday, Sunday comes, they sit with such divine look. They have so much of attachment. People in Karnataka believe it belongs to them. That is why we are going 14 TVR. It's not a joke. That number is not a joke. And because they believe that show and the way they are attached to it and the way they look forward to, what is he going to wear? First thing. What is he going, okay, this situation happened. How is he going to handle? Now, all these are there. And actually, that is a bigger pressure than cinema, sir. Because each one is close to some contestant there. trust me, that has taught me so much that it is no more a pressure for me. I know what I do, I will do what I have to do, and I come back. In fact, that has eased out the way I look at pressure here for anything. It's easy, just simplify it and go on. Bigg Boss has taught me all that as a person. And it was also that, if somebody comes and says, if you don't host, if you only look into it, it's not easy, sir. Put yourself on the stage of Bigg Boss. Do you know how many eyes are watching you? Not with just a look of what you're going to do, what you're going to do now. There is a question, there's a problem, there's already in the society, there's a chaos because of what some situation happened inside, and you're the only person to answer. You're the judge, you're the lawyer, you're going to give the final verdict. And how you speak is how it's going to end. There's always a perspective coming from the side, host, who can host? No, it's not, sir. It's not like that.
It doesn't look easy at all, because what I was trying to say is that, acting in films is itself a very, very difficult thing. But you have the protective shield that I'm not showing Kichcha Sudeepa, I'm showing this character that is appearing in this film. I'm molding my personality according to the character that is scripted. Here, you are kind of revealing yourself.
Very vulnerable position.
Very vulnerable position. And I was like, that's not an easy place to be.
That is not even a place to be. Forget easy, it's not a place you want. See, where you're exposing your vulnerable side to the public, why would you want to be there?
Yeah.
Why would anybody want to be there?
Yeah.
So, but I guess it's a chance you're taking, and that's the only way to their hearts. When you put there your vulnerable side, when you expose it, when you very clearly handle it, the only way people are going to love you is they're just going to love you, sir. But once they do, trust me, nobody can even come closer to the love they're giving, because it's so humongous.
This is the audience.
Yes.
Yeah.
The audience who are seeing there. And the respect of the contestants also, because they know you did justice and went. It's such a beautiful platform.
Have you gotten a new audience because of this?
Yeah, yes, sir. I've got a new set of audience only for Bigg Boss. I don't even know whether they'll come to the cinema.
Okay.
I don't know that part. Maybe they do. Because they like me, they may. But I know for sure there'll be a fight if that show doesn't come on the television.
Okay.
Everything is shut off. Every weekend, 9 to 10:30, everything is done. The best part is in one of the shows, the interviews, the deputy CM says, there's a huge controversy happening, and they asked him didn't you, sir? You might have seen it in the television. And he says, I go home and there is Bigg Boss happening. Where do I see? That was such a lovely compliment coming from him. But it is such a cute thing that, it is there. Sir, I have actors from my industry, who send videos from their home. He said, sir, look at the state of my house, sir. Look at my father, my mother, and all are watching Bigg Boss and sitting. Sir, for us, it's a very big high. It's a huge respect.
Yeah.
That particular actor doesn't need to send me that, because now he's exposing his vulnerable side. He can also behave like sorry, we don't watch Bigg Boss, they only watch me. But then that's a very cute part, because somewhere I have people from my industry texting me or somewhere connecting me and saying, sir, this was a lovely line you said. Sir, this costume was amazing. Sir, this part of the Bigg Boss fire. So they all see. Everybody see. At least I can say 80 to 85% of my industry, everybody see. That's a beautiful, beautiful spot to be, sir, actually. Just that you need to understand you can't spoil it. You can't this is not a fame you can get carried away with. It's a responsibility which keeps growing and growing. If you can only enjoy it, that means you can survive it.